Before we begin, I just want to say I'm aware that I could have spent just another couple of $100 and got one of these uncertified, untested e-skate / e-scoot / Segway helmets, but I couldn't afford such luxuries, unfortunately. But then when I got it, I realized this thing is a piece of junk. It's like made of Lego or something. Imagine having a Lego helmet and putting that on your head. That's what this feels like. I'm not kidding. Look at that thing. It's junk. And look at this. Look at the, see, it's full face, right? And look how easily this comes off. What is this crap? Imagine in a crash, you get slapped. Welcome to today's episode. In the box, we have my old helmet. I bought it on the 13th of May, as you can see, which was exactly 4 months ago, pretty much. About 4 months and 4 days. It costed over $200. So it's not really expensive as far as motorbike helmets go, but it's not exactly cheap either, is it? For being 4 months old, look at the state of it. I haven't had any crashes, by the way. Any scratches you see on it are just from moving it around in the garage. Do you know what I mean? Just like little scuffs and scratches. The visor just broke off from just flicking it up and down. This part is meant to go up and down, right? Well, it still does. See, as you can see, it goes up and down. But it goes down by itself now. See, whereas before, it used to lock up. So when you've got it up, you're riding along, and it stays up just the way you want it. But after like 2 months, it started just falling down by itself. And it's dangerous because you can get blinded by it when you're on the road. So I thought, you could probably just tighten a screw or something and fix that up, right? Just like my old helmet, for example. See, my older helmet, this one here, it's got a screw there. If you tighten it, it tightens up the whole mechanism. So if it starts sliding down by itself, it'll stop doing that. See, simple, just a screw. This is a Chinese helmet, by the way, Get Noog. And it had like an MP3 like built into it. I ripped it out though because it was kind of junk. But anyway, this helmet, this $209 helmet, 4 months old, I figured, all right, you can probably tighten a screw and fix that up, right? I don't care so much about the visor, to be honest. Like, as long as that stays up and it doesn't fall down by itself, I was happy to keep using this thing. So I brought it into the shop, and they told me that they can't fix it by tightening anything. They said it's actually worn out. And a little piece of black, see that little, maybe you can see that. Yeah, you can. See that little chip? Little scratch? I don't know what you'd call that. Tiny piece of plastic is missing, right? And look, they handed me this. I'm not joking, guys. I'm deadly serious. They gave me this, or like they pulled this out of it, right? So this plastic, see, inside that sticky tape, that piece of plastic is from that chunk that's missing there, right? And they gave me this thing and said to keep it because that's my key to my warranty, and to contact this company and that they'd be able to sort me out. I'm not joking. That's what they told me, guys. And I figured I'm just going to get another helmet because this is ridiculous. But it made me think, right, if this wore out so quickly, just imagine the kind of torture the Sherman has gone through in those 4 months. Whereas this thing, all it has to do is sit on my damn head, and occasionally I'll flick this up and down, right? So that's like a moving part there. And that's it. It lasted 4 freaking months, whereas the Sherman has been going for years. The OG has got 20,000 kilometers on it. And it hasn't got a single issue. Whereas this helmet, it can't even last 4 months. I don't know how many kilometers that is. But you would expect more from a $200 helmet, wouldn't you? SMK is the brand. Do not get this brand. Whatever you do, it's junk. When I took it into another motorbike shop, they told me that this is just a cheap helmet, right? They said it's just cheap and that's why it's junk. And they told me to get a better one. And they showed me this other one that they said is better. And it costed less than this. So it was a rip-off. I got gypped. And anyway, let's move on to the... Oh, another funny thing though is this helmet here. Look. This helmet. It looked really good when I saw it on eBay. I was like, yeah, that looks awesome. Because what I really want, guys, is a lightweight helmet that protects you well. These motorbike helmets are this one in particular is very heavy. This one is a lot lighter, but it's still much heavier than your average bicycle helmet, right? Or even a downhill helmet. And this is a downhill helmet, they say. And I thought it would be pretty protective. But then when I got it, I realized this thing is a piece of junk. It's like made of Lego or something. Imagine having a Lego helmet and putting that on your head. That's what this feels like. I'm not kidding. Look at that thing. There's no padding almost at all. It's just sharp, hard plastic edges. And it's thin as hell. Like, it honestly feels like you'd be worse off having this on your head during a crash. Like, it would damage you even more. It's junk. And look at this. Look at the, see, it's full face, right? And look how easily this comes off. What is this crap? Imagine in a crash, you get slapped and you're done. It's game over. So imagine crashing into a wall. Imagine what it's going to do to you. I'm not kidding. That's how this thing works. Look, that's in. That's as in as it goes. That's as good as it gets. Right? Done. Game over. Bye-bye. I could probably chop straight through this thing. And yeah, I don't want to though, because I want to possibly sell it back to the vendor. I don't know, to be honest. Race work. But anyway, let's move on and see my new helmet. So we're back at this place. And this reservoir is a man-made body of water which holds all the high quality water for the entire state pretty much. There's 3 billion liters of water. Some time ago it was found out that there was a group coming in here and dumping highly toxic chemicals straight into this reservoir of high quality water. And it was well documented. The amount they were putting in there was 12,000 liters of an extremely hazardous chemical, so hazardous and potent that just to carry this in a sealed steel drum required handlers to wear a full hazmat suit. If you're exposed to this, it could kill you just being near these chemicals. They're just extremely potent. What is it called? Fluorosilicic acid. 12,000 liters, right? And when they caught the guys that were doing this, guess what they said? They're doing it for our benefit. For our benefit. What good could possibly come out of this? And what they said was it's good for our teeth. So it's like a medicine. They're putting medicine in the water for our teeth, which is interesting because we're drinking this water, right? Is that how it works? Do you drink this medicine and it's good for your teeth? No, that's not how it works. It's topical, they said. So as it passes over your teeth, it kills some bacteria. Because what they're putting in there is fluorosilicic acid. Very interesting, right? So in order to apply a topical treatment, you end up drinking the whole solution. Every single day, multiple times per day. Pretty crazy, right? You also shower in it, you bathe in it, you cook your food in it. All for your teeth. Complete craziness, right? So what did they do? What did the government do when they found out this insanity? Nothing, because it was the government. Let's move on. And by the way, if you're wondering, where do they get this fluorosilicic acid from? Is it expensive? Do you buy it at the local store? What is this stuff? Well, like I said, it's extremely hazardous. You have to seal it in a steel drum and then throw on a hazmat suit on top of that just to be near it. It comes from mining operations. It's like the ultimate waste product, the ultimate toxic stuff that they can't dump anywhere. Before they got this genius idea of trying to help our teeth, they used to just dump this stuff anywhere they could, and it was very hard for them to do that. They had to pay massive amounts of money just to dump this stuff because it's so toxic, right? And it makes perfect sense. Just like a mechanic has to pay to dump their chemicals, only their stuff is 100 times more dangerous. So they were paying extravagant amounts to dump their chemicals. Since they got this genius idea of helping our teeth, now they sell this stuff. Instead of having to pay to dump it, the government pays them to dump it directly in our drinking water. Unmitigated, unfiltered, on a regular schedule. I am not joking. That is exactly what they're doing. They've been doing this for decades. All so we can pass a bit of this toxic stuff around our teeth. I mean, think about this, guys. This is just utter insanity. And if you wanted to apply this treatment, the only thing that would make sense is to have a mouth rinse, which you spit back out afterwards. You don't freaking drink it. And you don't drink it every day, all freaking day long. Glass after glass after glass, day after day, year after year. Imagine the damage this could be doing to us. 12,000 litres of this junk in this reservoir, which isn't even that big, to be honest. 3 billion litres. It's not that much. You can see it's like a little pool of water, and they're dumping that much in there. Do you know how many barrels that is? It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those giant barrels full of this chemical. And that gets you up to a concentration of about 4 parts per million, by the way. Crazy stuff. But let's move on. See, this one can flip down like this. Got that and this. Or you can just have that. Or just like that. Or this. Or that. So you got many options. This was a $400 helmet, and it's a motorbike helmet. I got it from an actual motorbike shop. I wouldn't have normally spent this much on a helmet, but because my last one fell apart, I figured I may as well just get a good one and look after it. And yeah, I'll take care of this. It looks nice, doesn't it? I want to keep it shiny. Only problem is I've already scratched this visor a bit from going under trees. You know when you go past some like low-hanging branches, and then if you go fast, it'll scrape past your helmet. I mean, it doesn't matter how fast you're going, but I was going pretty fast enough for it to scratch up this visor. And yeah, I'm pretty pissed off about that. You can replace the visor alone though. I think it's only like $50, but still, it's a fair bit of money just to for a small mistake like that. Yeah, I'm happy with it though. It's pretty light. It's a lot lighter than my old helmet actually. So I paid like double for this. My old helmet was a motorbike helmet also, but it was like half the price. And this feels much lighter. It's a bit more, it covers your face a bit more, which I had to get used to. See how it covers my cheeks? My other one, oh! The cheek. It kind of covers my cheek, see? And it felt weird at first, I kind of felt like it was making me itchy, but now I'm used to it, so it feels fine. And it won't have the same problem. It won't have the same problem as my old helmet, which started falling down. Because my old one was a flip up too, but it only flipped up to about there. And it was meant to lock up in place. And over time, it just started getting loose and it would keep falling down while I was riding. And a couple of times when I was riding, it fell down at the worst moment, left me blinded because it covered my eyes. And I thought I was going to crash. I was like, dude, I flicked it up quickly. And lucky I didn't crash, but man, it's dangerous. All of a sudden you're blind, imagine that. And this one can't do that because it flicks all the way back, see? So even if this does wear out, it'll never just fall down that easily because it's all the way back there, see? So yeah, it's a good helmet. I'm happy with it. And I recommend getting these kind of helmets actually, to be honest. Because, you can get the TSG or whatever. It's like $600 or something. And it's not even certified. These are actually certified for motorbike racing. So it's going to protect you a lot better. And it's light too. So there you go. And it's a flick down. The TSG or whatever it's called. Those expensive e-skate helmets. I don't think they even do this. You can't like flick it up. It's like, I might be wrong, but I think they just they're just locked in place. Yeah. And just some final thoughts. Motorbike helmets are heavier, yes. Although they do vary, you can get lighter ones and heavier ones. Like I said, the one I got now, that white one is fairly light. I'm pretty happy with it actually. But compared to, say, a bicycle helmet, obviously it's still a lot heavier. A bicycle helmet weighs nothing basically. So you are going to notice a difference if you go from a bicycle helmet to a motorcycle helmet. And like I said, those TSG helmets, those Segway helmets, they're probably pretty light too. I've never felt one. I imagine that they're pretty light because that must be one of the benefits of those kind of helmets, because they look like motorbike helmets, but they're very lightweight looking. Definitely don't protect you as well as a motorbike helmet. But what I'm saying is that you'll notice a difference in weight in going to a motorbike helmet, which I use now. And I did too. I didn't used to use a motorbike helmet. What I used to use was a downhill bicycle helmet, which is fairly light. It was very light actually, but it was full face. And then I lost that. I left it in a taxi. I left it in the boot of a taxi the day I got a flat tire on my Sherman. So I got a flat tire and lost my helmet on the same day. And I could never replace that helmet. I never found it again on eBay, which is where I bought it originally. Never found it again. So I bought that joke of a helmet you saw at the start of the video, the one you can just slap into pieces basically. And when I realized what a joke that helmet was, I realized I still need a helmet. So I was still looking. And that's when I decided, all right, I'm just going to get a motorbike helmet because I don't know what else to get. And it was much heavier. That one you saw at the start of the video, it's very heavy. And I found it very uncomfortable because of the weight. But you get used to it within just a few weeks. Now I'm very used to it and I don't mind the weight at all. Even turning my head quickly and stuff, it's no problem. It's very warm in the winter. I'm not sure what it'll be like in summer, yet to see that. But what I'm saying is that don't worry about the weight. If you're looking at getting a motorbike helmet, just get one and you'll get used to the weight. Trust me. And now that I've got this new helmet that weighs a lot less than that old motorbike helmet, I'm very comfortable in that thing. It feels perfect. It's not too heavy at all. It's comfortable and it protects you very well. It's made for motorbike racing. It's also awesome that it flips up and down, and it does so in a way where it's not just going to wear out after a few months. It should last forever like that. Because even if it loosens up, it'll never fall down by itself because it flicks all the way back, not just to an upright position. And it's white, which is actually good for the summer. Speaking of how it will do in the summer, that's very good because it reflects heat, which is a thing, by the way. The guy in the motorbike shop was trying to convince me that it's not. And I asked him, have you ever been in a black car on a hot, sunny day and then been in a white car on the same day? It makes a big difference. And he told me he owns a black car. So there was no convincing him. But I'm an engineer. I know for a fact that it makes a huge difference. Just get a black piece of metal and get a white piece of metal. Put them both in the sun and then feel the difference. There's a massive, massive difference. So a black helmet is no good in the summer because it absorbs heat. It's going to make your head much hotter than a white helmet would. So I'm glad this is a white helmet. As you might have seen, my old one was a black helmet, the one that wore out. Didn't even last as long as a tire change. Can you believe it? So we'll end the episode here, and hopefully you took something out of that. Especially if you're new to EUCs and you're thinking about getting gear. There's just so many options, isn't there? So anything that can help will be a good thing. And just remember, the number one piece of gear is your knee protection. Easy to remember because that's what you need. What do you need? You need your knees. Without these, your knees will be Swiss cheese. And you won't be riding no EUCs. So please heed the warnings. I couldn't rhyme that last bit. You might never have that crash. Like I said, it's about a 1 in 10 crash. Remember I said that? There's a certain mechanism involved in crashing off an EUC where you can crash in a certain way where you're going to destroy your knee. It's going to be a life-changing crash, and it's like a 1 in 10 crash. You might never have that crash. You might not even have 10 crashes throughout your whole EUC riding career. But if you have it, it could be game over. And the knee protection will prevent that. It would be the difference between a life-changing event and just 20 minutes of pain. That's literally the difference it makes.